Hello everyone, welcome to the Cinematic Spellbook channel. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to 8 of the latest exciting and must-watch. Number 8, Sinners. This film is a supernatural action horror set in the 1930s in the Mississippi Delta. It follows twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, who return home after serving in World War I. They turn to a life of crime and start working with Chicago gangsters. After a few years, they take the money they've made from crime and theft and go back to their hometown to open a nightclub, a place where the local black community can have fun and enjoy music. But things don't go as planned. They soon face a group of vampires led by a mysterious and dangerous man named Remick. His goal is to build a vampire society where race and religion don't matter, even racists are welcome in his vision. The story takes a dark and twisted turn from there. The film is packed with intense action scenes, a rich 1930s atmosphere, powerful music, and meaningful themes about racism and culture. Number 7, Shadow Force. Extremely dangerous. They carried out covert operations for the US government, the kind of feelings for Kira himself, and now that she chose Isaac over him, he's completely lost it. Number 6, A Widow's Game.
Pienso en Arturo.
The story is about a man named Arturo, a kind, respectable husband, who is suddenly stabbed to death one day in his home garage. Everyone is shocked, but gradually, the truth begins to unfold. His wife, a woman named Mage, was behind it all. Mage, a nurse with an innocent and sweet appearance, had been living a double life. On one hand, she was married to Arturo, on the other, she was involved with several other men. One of them was her co-worker, a man named Salva. Mage promised Salva a romantic future together and manipulated him into killing her husband. Mage was sentenced to 22 years in prison, and Salva received a 17-year sentence. What's even more surprising is that while in prison, Mage started a relationship with another inmate and eventually became pregnant. This film is based on a true story that happened in Spain. If you're into true crime dramas, this one will definitely grab your attention. Number 5, Mountainhead.
Trying to hurt me. Things can't get any worse.
The story of this film revolves around 4 ultra-wealthy and powerful friends in the tech industry, each of whom, in one way or another, has contributed to the chaos in the world. They gather at a luxurious villa in the mountains for what seems like a casual and fun get-together, but beneath the surface, there's tension, rivalry, and hidden agendas. Venice runs a social media platform called Trom, whose out-of-control AI has caused a global mess by spreading misinformation and fueling social unrest. Jeff owns an AI company called Builter that actually has the capability to fix the crisis, but he refuses to act, due to personal motives. Randall is an aging venture capitalist who's seriously ill and desperately looking for a way to upload his mind and live on in digital form. And then there's Super, the host of The Gathering. Though extremely wealthy, he feels inferior compared to the others and is eager to make his new wellness app, which promotes slow living, go viral. As time passes in the mountain estate, tensions rise. The friendly facade starts to crack, and it becomes clear that they're all plotting against each other, trying to take over each other's companies. What unfolds is a psychological and power-driven battle, hidden behind polite smiles and passive-aggressive conversations. This film is a sharp critique of the ultra-rich and the people in control of today's technology. It explores how their decisions, and selfishness, can impact the lives of billions around the world. Number 4, Nonnas. The story of this film follows a man named Joe, who becomes deeply heartbroken after his mother's passing. In her memory, he decides to open a restaurant where only real Italian grandmothers cook, because his mom was an incredible cook, and this was his way of keeping her spirit alive. Joe finds an old, run-down restaurant in his neighborhood and, with the help of his best friend Bruno and his high school sweetheart Olivia, starts renovating it. At first, things don't go smoothly. The grandmothers constantly argue, each one convinced her food is the best. But over time, they grow close, bond, and even go out together to the beauty salon and have fun. This film is a heartwarming comedy drama based on the true story of Joe Scaravalla. It has received much praise for its touching themes about family, culture, homemade food, and the joy of togetherness. Number 3, On Swift Horses.
It's all luck. We're all just a hair's breadth from losing everything.
This film is a romantic drama set in 1950s America. It follows a young woman named Muriel and her husband Lee, who has just returned from the Korean War. They're ready to start a new life together in California, and everything seems to be going well, until Lee's mysterious and adventurous brother, Julius, enters the picture. Instead of staying with them, Julius heads to Las Vegas, where he gets a job at a casino. There, he meets a man named Henry, and the two develop a romantic relationship. But because that era lacked today's freedoms, they're forced to keep their love a secret. Meanwhile, back in California, Muriel gradually becomes fascinated with gambling and horse betting. She also grows close to her neighbor Sandra, and an emotional relationship begins to form between them. Overall, the film is about people searching for themselves and for true love, but because of the societal limitations of their time, they're forced to hide who they really are. Number 2, The Friend.
You okay, bud?
I could feel him missing Walter in the same way I did.
The dog provides essential emotional.
The story of this film follows a lonely writer named Iris, who lives in New York City. One day, she receives the devastating news that one of her closest friends, Walter, who was also her mentor and colleague, has passed away. Before his death, Walter left a request in his will, that his enormous dog, a giant Great Dane named Apollo, be taken in by Iris. The problem is, Iris lives in a small apartment where pets aren't allowed. On top of that, Apollo is a huge dog who quickly causes all kinds of chaos. But despite the challenges, Iris slowly forms a deep and beautiful bond with him. Apollo's presence helps her process her grief and come to terms with the loss of her friend. This film is a heartfelt story about loneliness, sorrow, and the unexpected friendships that can help us heal. Number 1, Queen of the Ring. This film tells the true story of a strong woman named Mildred, a single mother in the 1930s who, at a time when women weren't even allowed to wrestle professionally, decides to break into the world of professional wrestling. At first, Mildred faces countless obstacles. Not only does she have to fight against the rules and social norms that discriminate against women, but she also has to deal with her ex-husband, who's both her coach and manager, and often stands in her way rather than supporting her. Despite all the hardships, Mildred builds herself up from nothing and becomes a champion. She becomes the first woman to earn $1 million through wrestling and even organizes the first ever unscripted, real competition in women's wrestling. But this film isn't just about the sport, it also shows her struggles to raise her child, expand wrestling into countries like Japan, and bring women of color into the sport. Mildred wasn't just a wrestler, she was a revolutionary who changed the game forever. Well, friends, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.